Well, good morning. Here we are at week 5 already. And you just finished up what was Module 3. Your discussion, especially your forum discussions, were focused on really observing different stores and talking about the idea of stratification as well as social class. Where do people shop? What is kind of the idea or prestige of one store being of better quality versus another store? And so I had a lot of great, interesting posts, particularly like Henrietta's post, especially appreciate you involving. References from the textbook, right, and talking about social stratification and just kind of the various views of different supermarkets. Shannon, also you talking about the idea of store choice, and kind of the idea of whether it's high end or middle of the road, and really does that matter, or is it more about the location and the population that surrounds that location, which is a really interesting question as well. And what we see too in particular with high-end stores is they're um, usually located in more what I would consider more upper class neighborhoods, right? So the dollar, the tax value of that neighborhood is higher versus other stores that we don't perceive to be as um, upper class. And so that's an important question to ask is, who are the people who live around these particular locations? And of course, that's not always the case, but most of the time that is what you see. Um, Pay attention to where some great things to pay attention to are, where are the ABC stores located? Where are the bail bonds signs, right, located? What do you typically see in certain neighborhoods versus other neighborhoods when you're talking about property tax value? And when you're talking about property tax value, that money that funds schools, even what school is located in that area, and how do we view that school as a society? Is it one of those schools where it's like it's prestigious and this is a grade 8 school, or is it one of those schools that people feel are struggling academically and therefore are perceived to be kind of, what do we grade schools now to, a C school, right? So thinking about location and socioeconomic status and how that impacts what is actually available and located in your neighborhood. So really good observations that you made in your discussion forums. Now we're moving on to the next module. So make sure that you're completing your critical analysis by Sunday, in addition to the next discussion forum as well. Some comments I want to make: when you're doing your discussion forums, the forums that I give the most points to are really ones that include in-text citation and support from the textbook, or at least you're showing me that you've read the textbook, and I can see that you're pulling that material together and really being thoughtful about how it applies to the questions that I'm asking you. In addition to your critical analysis, you have your multiple choice questions, but you want to make sure that you're sticking within the word count. So if I ask for 200 words or if I ask for 400 words, make sure you stick within that word count, and that you're providing support from the textbook. Although this is a vignette and you're trying to describe what's going on in that particular scenario, you need to be able to include support from your textbook. So make sure that you're doing that. All right, well, I hope you have a great weekend, and if you have any questions, you know where to find me.